Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, the show for the geek in all of us. I am Ryan Street, and we have a very special episode today with two very special guests. Not only is Chris Catron here, say hi, Chris.
Whoa. Hey.
But my lovely wife Jennifer is here.
Hey guys.
And then, oh wow, she's like a little mouse. Hey guys. And then my other good friend Eric is here. Say hey, Eric.
Hello. That was it. Did you hear me?
Yeah, we heard you. This is Eric's first time being on a podcast, right? Any podcast?
No, I've been on one podcast before. Yeah, it was
You're a pro.
It was interesting.
You're a pro.
Oh yeah, anytime you do something once, you're officially a pro. So
now my brother Chris is not here this week.
Yeah,
he is sick. He had too much Disney cruise. It made him sick, so he's home, sick in bed, I guess. But he'll be back next week. But tonight, like I said, it's a special episode. Not only do we have special guests, but we got to do something really special and fun this last week, and that's why we have special guests on, because they did it with me. Catron was, of course, in Memphis, so he was not here with us. But we got to experience an escape room, but it's an escape room unlike any escape room that I've ever done before. It's called a Immersive escape theater. I guess is the best way to describe it. It's called Strange Bird Immersive, and basically it was based on Houdini's life, and we're going to get into, or his death really. We'll get into all that in a minute, but it was a fun night. It was a 90-minute. Most escape rooms that I've been to are like 60 minutes, and they put you in a room and tell you to get out. But this one had actors. It had all kinds of stuff going for it. But we got to this random building here in Houston that was like old silos. I don't know much about the building beforehand. Eric, I don't know if you know anything about it.
no, I actually got over there, and then I was like, I have never been here before, even though I lived here my whole life. I was like, what's crazy about it is it was like these old silos. I grew up like in a real small town, and it was all like, because these are old rice silos, I guess that's what the deal is, like old rice dryers. And so the hometown we grew up in was built around rice dryer, and so I thought, oh dude, we could have probably like brought a lot more revenue into our hometown if we'd have not torn down the rice dryer and just made it into like unique shops.
There you go.
Sorry, Dayton, Texas, you messed up, man. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
They've turned it into sort of like an artsy area, I guess, is what I could tell.
Yeah.
They gave us a secret code to enter the building, so we got to there. There was a door that was locked that had a number code. I found the building, or the door. Eric, you did not find the door, I don't think.
Well, first off, we were in our car waiting for y'all to show up, and it turns out y'all parked on the other side of the building. It's not really my fault, but yeah. So the first door we came to was actually like, I think it was like the back door to like a gym or something, and then suddenly, yeah, then you guys looked at us. We looked stupid. So I'll blame Glenna. I'm gonna blame Glenna for a lot of stuff since she's not. That's my wife, since she's not actually on the podcast.
She came with us, and we had a fun time.
She was the best dressed.
Yeah, she was. We dressed up for the occasion.
Definitely.
We decided to go, since it was Harry Houdini, we decided to go with a sort of a 1920s theme. So we just found stuff in our closet that, of course, everybody has their 1920s outfits laying around. And I texted everybody, I don't know, a few hours beforehand. It was that day, I think.
Well, the problem was that the guys decided to have a conversation about it, and we didn't include the wives early enough. So my wife was wearing a pair of denim overalls and a tank top, and I was like, is that what you're wearing? Which is never a question you ask your wife before you go out. Is that what you're wearing? So I'm like, is that what you're wearing? And she was like, I was planning on, I was like, it's a 1920s theme. And she was like, what the crap? Like, I was like, I texted you like 5 or 6 hours ago. I was like, you should read your text messages, which that gets into layers of our relationship that I can't go into because that's not what this is about. But. So in 5 minutes, she went from like overalls to like 1920s Gatsby. It was impressive, actually.
It was impressive.
Yeah.
So we were all dressed up. We were ready for the occasion, and we're gonna try to not give away spoilers in case you guys want to experience it. We don't want to ruin it for you, but we'll try to go about telling what happened without giving too much away. And when we got to the inside the silos, well, it wasn't in the silo, but inside the building, we went down this hallway that was, I think it was an art gallery in there too. Went down, went upstairs, found the door that we were supposed to go in, and when we opened the door, it was like the adventure began, I guess, if you want to call it that. The Madame Daphne is what she was called, was sitting there waiting for us at her table inside her parlor, and it was dark, and had a, sort of like a, I don't know, not really a parlor to seance room, I guess you could call it that. But she was there. She handed us each a book that had our names on them, and opened it up. And inside the book is a vial that says "Drink me." And so my first thought was, well, this is where it all ends. We hear. Do we lose Eric? He's coming back. There. This is where this is where it all ends, and this is actually some kind of scam, and we're all going to end up in bathtub somewhere with our kidneys gone. But so,
yeah.
But Jennifer couldn't drink it because it was an alcoholic drink, and she's pregnant right now, so she would have saved us, I guess.
Yeah. That list of ingredients, I think, probably couldn't have been real. There was some. Well, I'm scared that it was real, and that someone's going to try to recreate it, or it wasn't real, and someone's going to try to recreate that recipe and then kill themselves. So it seemed inaccurate. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was real. It was strong. Whatever it was.
Yes. Whatever it was.
Whatever it was, yeah. So that was sort of the beginning of it, and then you had the option of getting your tarot cards read. You could sit at the table with her while we mingled in her parlor to get it read. Most people got it read. One of our friends that went with us, he said, "I'm not going to do any of that hippie stuff," and he didn't get it read, which is funny. Shout out to Marshall. I was going to try to get Marshall to be on here tonight with us. He's a firefighter, and he fights fires for a living, dives into fires, and he said that he was terrified of being on a podcast. So there you go.
We all have our fears, Ryan. Leave them alone. We all have our fears.
So he said he's going to listen, though. So shout out, Marshall.
That's what's funny. It's like that whole crew, like all the guys in our small group. It's like me and Ryan are like the normal dudes, and then like there's like, oh yeah, I was like a submarine captain, and one dude's like an actual astronaut. This guy's a firefighter. Well, the guy like builds pumps for. He's an engineer that helps do multi-million-dollar things. I'm like, yeah. And then there's me and Ryan. We do podcasts and play guitar.
Yeah, that's us. So yeah. So he may be fighting a fire right now. I don't know.
He could be. He's probably. Let's just say, for argument's sake, he is currently in the midst of a firefight.
Yes, he's saving a kitten from a tree.
However we need to feel better about ourselves.
But so after the parlor, so basically what the parlor was for was to sign a release waiver, but they did it in a unique way. Most places you go in, escape rooms, they make you fill out all this paperwork. Basically, we signed a paper, and then we crumpled it up and threw it in the bird cage and fed it to her bird, which I forget her bird's name, but her bird did have a name.
Leroy? No. What was it?
Walter?
I think it's
Walter.
Walter the bird. We'll go with that.
You're not
supposed
Walter
to
touch him or scare him.
Yes.
Well, he had like a falcon hood on his eyes.
Yeah, he was he wasn't
that
a
was
real
like
bird.
my first. That was my first like red flag. You'd think the tarot cards would be my first red flag, but actually the hooded bird.
It's a little bit creepy.
First red flag.
Yeah. But yeah, so Madame Daphne had an accent. I don't know what kind of accent.
Cockney.
Yeah, British. I don't know. European.
Was it Southern London?
Yeah. So she read some cards.
Middle class.
Yeah, read some cards, and then took us into a hallway when everybody was ready and had their little concoction, drank, and in the hallway she went over the rules and I think scared a few of the people.
Don't molest Walter.
Don't molest Walter was one of the rules, so we're hoping Walter was the bird. It wasn't someone else there. So
it's just like in Florida, all the signs. Don't molest the alligators.
Yeah, don't molest Walter. That should be a T-shirt. Let's go.
We'll have to circle back to this Florida stuff, but
you don't want to know.
You don't want to know. So
really don't.
So we enter. She takes us into the next room, and we enter a séance room. Her séance room, Madame Daphne's. There's a round table. She asks everybody to sit down. Goes over sort of the what's going to happen, and then asks us all to hold hands, which it's always fun. Get to hold hands with people in a circle. Oh.
Well, did y'all know we did sit guy girl, and I felt like I was about to get pigeonholed into a guy situation, and I purposely moved a couple folks around so that even though I didn't know these people, I was like, I'm gonna at least hold hands with a girl. And not a dude I just met.
I think
that's safe.
I got a dude beside. I got Jennifer on one side, and then a guy that I barely knew on the other side. So I held his hand really tight and caressed the top of it. Just
You did that thing where you
should have flip flopped that.
I said sorry for the sweaty palms. But at this point, the without giving away many spoilers, the seance, as I put in air quotations for those listening, began, and the some of the ladies of the group began to immediately freak out a little bit. Jennifer didn't.
I didn't freak out.
No. Some of them
I was mega worried. I was like, this is my first escape room. I've never done another escape room. So as far as I'm concerned, they all begin with tarot card readings. So, and so and so reading the thing ahead of time, I'm not a scary movie guy. I don't want spooky stuff. It's just not. I saw Exorcist at an 8th grade cheerleader party, and since then, it's out. I'm done. Because that was a super embarrassing moment in my life. And so I was getting a little freaked out just reading about this before we actually got there. And so luckily it wasn't really creepy. It was all lighthearted, I think.
Yeah.
Fun. It was fun.
I know what we're doing in October now. I'm taking you to a haunted house.
That is 100%. You're gonna have to pre-drug me with some of the ingredients from that vial.
Some absinthe, I guess.
And if I just wake up in a shallow grave, then game on, I guess. But other than that,
I used to work though. So I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I worked.
That's a whole other episode right there.
Yeah. We'll say that for another episode. But those was always fun to work. So we got in. She started going through. If you're not familiar with Houdini's life, for part of his life, he spent a majority of it trying to disprove seances, mediums, and he would have he sort of had a spy ring nationwide that he would have employ people to go into seances and disprove what was going on. So she begins her seance and goes through all the regular motions of knocking on the table, bells ringing.
At that point, I thought this is going to be really corny, actually. The knocking under the table, I thought there's a kick drum pedal under there, and this is not going to get any better, but thankfully it did.
Oh, it did.
It got way better.
It got way better. And then I think the lights flickered or stuff started moving or something. The lights, I think, started flickering or something, and then the Madame Daphne got freaked out and said some words that we're not going to say on this family-friendly podcast, and proceeded to leave the room and lock us in, and said for us to figure a way out. So that was Madame Daphne. She was gone. She left us there. And then a lot of the people in the group had never done escape rooms before, so they were sort of looking like, okay, well, what do we do now? Is that it? which I've got to do.
Game over.
Yeah, game over. A bunch of them. So
hit the exit button, and walk out.
Yep. So we started looking around, and the cool thing about the room is that they had different artifacts in the room that are known Houdini type out artifacts. So they had the straitjacket. They had a box, the metamorphosis box, and they had this other tall cabinet thing that you could get into if you can unlock it. And so the escape room really began. And I've done a lot of escape rooms. Have written a lot of escape rooms for different events, and this one was one of my top favorites because they combined the sort of theater with the escape and made it a whole experience. Eric, this was your first escape room. What did you think of it once the escape part got started?
Well, I feel like there's only like one way to go from here. If it's your favorite, you've done like a bunch of them. I would just might as well stop here.
They're all going to be bad.
From this point on.
No,
oh well.
The other ones are just different. This one, I think, they just went above and beyond. I got a chance to sort of converse back and forth on Twitter with somebody from the Strange Bird Immersive. I'm not sure who it was, about how this came to be. They've been planning this for over a year. I think there's only like 3 or 4 people that are involved in it. And so it's taken them that long to plan it all out and get it going. I asked if they were going to be doing other experiences. So they said they were going to focus on this one for now, and they'll see what happens as they go.
That's cool. Yeah, that's. I think that the characters and all that kind of stuff. What you can look at it in 2 ways. You can look at it like, okay, I know you're just a normal person. Stop being weird, or you can just go all in. And that's one thing about her. She was, I mean, we never met the actual person. Like she was Daphne from the moment we walked in till we left the building. You know, so that's impressive. You know.
Yeah, it never felt like you were going to a storefront that's an escape room, and you walk in and you meet the hostess and they take your information and take your credit card and stuff like that, and then you go into an escape room. It was the moment you got there, you were in it. And I really like the variety of puzzles and stuff that we had to do. And I like that they didn't. Most escape rooms you go to, they give you like 15 math problems to solve.
No math.
And I'm horrible at math. And this one on their website says, "Don't worry, no math." So
well, we almost didn't get out of our last one because of a math problem. 2 minutes to spare.
But this one there was no math, which was great, and probably one of the funniest things of the night. I'm going to throw Glenna under the bus because she's in bed. There was a picture on the wall, and it was one of those pictures that looks like that if you squint your eyes or lose your focus, you could see a picture in it. Katrin, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the magic eye.
Yeah.
Remember those?
And so Glenna was determined that this was a clue and that there was something in that picture that we needed. So I'm pretty sure for the 60 to 90 minutes that we're in this room, she was staring at that picture. And she was determined.
We were basically a man down for the entire thing because she was just like, she just sat there. Remember that movie Mallrats?
Yeah.
You know, so wasn't it Mallrats where like that guy was they had those like a kiosk or something in there, and like so this guy was like the whole time he couldn't see the. I might be the wrong movie. I could swear it's Mallrats.
I remember a movie. There was. It may have been Mallrats, but yeah, it was just. But she was so convincing that
it was Glenna.
Yeah. She was so convincing that I would stop and look at it and stare at it, and Marshall stopped and looked at it and stared at it. But there was
nothing.
It
was something.
Yeah.
But not critical.
Yeah, not critical.
Not critical for the night. Let's just say that.
The thing that was confusing about it was there was a rope that went behind it, and the rope was in the picture. That's the only reason I thought maybe it actually is something, because I thought like this rope is in the 3D picture, and then it also like there's an actual rope underneath the frame. What does that go to?
It actually led to something across the room that I found earlier without knowing that was over there.
Yeah. So I thought it has to be something,
Yeah.
but it wasn't anything.
Yeah. So we were doing pretty good, and then we sort of hit a stump, and there was a projector that they had set up in the room. There's something creepy going on over there.
We have some scary sounds happening.
Sorry, that was my door.
He's trying to escape from his own house, I think.
Hey, that is 90% of my life.
But I did. There was a projector that would give us clues sometimes during the night, and there was one moment that I was fiddling around with the desk and I accidentally ripped a drawer out, and a thing came on the screen saying, "Please do not destroy our furniture." And I was like, "Oh, I feel so bad." So I got reprimanded. But yeah,
so you know they're watching.
Oh, they're watching. For sure. Yeah, there's cameras. But Houdini did end up making an appearance later that evening. Miss Daphne did come back into the room and drag one of the people in the room out, and we're like, "Oh, great! What's she gonna do with that guy?" But he did come back. But Houdini did make an appearance in a ghostly form, and then a more solid form, I guess you could say. But I don't want to ruin anything, but.
I know, that's what's so crazy. I'm like, I want to share my experience, but I can't really share too much because I don't want to ruin it for you. But it was, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Again, this is my first one I've done, and so I don't know. I expected there to be a lot more tension. I'll be honest with you. I was watching $100,000 Pyramid a while ago, and I'm just trying to work on my list of things to do for the next week. And then I turned it off because it was too stressful. So I was like, I can't think about my week while these people are trying to win money. What if they lose? I feel like I'm just staring at someone losing money right now. So I had to just let it go. Now my air conditioning unit is making noise. What is my life right now?
Scary house.
Your house is haunted.
I do. Oh my gosh! See, it's all, the whole house is themed for this moment.
Look, there's Houdini behind you. That's creepy, man. What is that?
What is that, by the way?
A skeleton behind you.
Just a scary skeleton face, man.
But for our listeners, they're like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. If this is only a video podcast,
you'll have to go back and watch the YouTube.
Yeah, we do put it on YouTube, so you'll get to see your house walking around.
Information that would have been useful before we started this.
Sorry. But
I could have put up some cool background to make my house look awesome.
Oh, it looks awesome.
Instead,
you got the cool skeleton.
that thing.
Yeah. I mean, without giving too much away, there was a trunk that we would put stuff in, and other stuff would appear. There was a mantle that had some cool things that made some effects go off, and then there was a cabinet that once we opened it, I got in and disappeared for a while. While you guys did other stuff together. So that was cool. So I was stuck in a cabinet until the people outside helped me out. It was one of those things where the person in the cabinet has to do one thing and the person outside the cabinet has to do something else, and it released a clue.
Which is a metaphor for life.
Oh, yes. I think it would have been cool. It's something that they could add. Throwing my 2 cents out, they're like, we don't care. But if they're listening, if they had another room, because a lot of escape rooms we've been to has been 3 rooms, and I think it would have been cool if once you got into that cabinet, it was like one of those magic tricks where the back wall spinned, and you were in another room. That would have been pretty cool. But they may not have room or space for it. But if it had swiveled into another room, and maybe the other room would have been like you're in the beyond, you're in the ghostly realm or whatever.
Ooh, kind of like in the. You watched that movie? Have you seen that show, The OA?
The Away
on The OA on Netflix.
OA. No, I don't think so. I've seen Stranger Things.
Man.
It's like that sort of.
There's a. That's like a scary other realm. See, and even though I wanted to watch scary stuff, I had to watch Stranger Things. We'll see. As long as I'm not trying to make my weekly list while it's on. But yeah, no, in the OA, there's like this other realm, and it's like it looks like if someone had like a bunch of Christmas lights, and they put them all at once, and they covered them all with black sheets. And then there's a lady, might be Mary, the mother of Jesus, or not.
You're breaking up, dude.
Don't you want to watch this show now? Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, this is what we got. There's Christmas lights. There's black. Then there's the mother of something.
Mary, the mother.
Mary,
of
the
Jesus.
mother of Jesus.
Mary, the mother of Jesus. Maybe it was her sister. No one knows. I watched the whole show. I'm not totally sure. But what I was going to say, I imagine the room would be like. Okay, here's another thing about this escape room. Am I still breaking up?
You're coming back.
I can't fake like I'm stuck if the fan's still going behind me.
Yeah.
So, that's what's funny. We're like in this huge place, these silos, which is like, imagine like a half a shopping mall huge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this escape room's gonna be so big. And then imagine you went to that mall's like janitor closet. That's how big this escape room is. So you're like, whoa, this place is gonna be massive. No, this is gonna be a closet. So
yeah. So
who wants to escape from a gymnasium? I don't. Not me.
But like even if they had another room that mirrored that room that we were in, but it was like all in like black and white and sort of creepy, that would have been sort of cool.
The upside down.
Yeah, the upside down. Because Houdini was sort of in a place like that we saw him during the escape room.
Yeah.
So if we had traveled into that area, that would have been sort of cool. But it was cool nonetheless. But yeah, if they had one more room, I think it would have been better. Because I felt like there was 8 of us in there, and it did get sort of, I don't want to say cramped, but it felt like all of us was trying to figure something out in that space, like the same thing. We would like overlap each other. So maybe if they had another room.
This sounds like that's like just like a family trip with my family anywhere in our van. There's a lot of people in here. It's really cramped. And we're all trying to figure out how to get out as fast as possible. Oh my God, I live in an escape room.
There you go.
I'm learning so much about my life on this, guys. If for no one else, this is for me.
Now that would be interesting to take your whole family to this escape room. That would be something to see. I would just want to watch it.
No, yeah. Oh, if I didn't, this would be my opportunity to off some of my kids. That's probably what it would be. We could have. You want to get immersive? We should get people, lock them in my house with my kids.
There you go.
And see who can solve the puzzles to get out.
This is the next reality show.
This is getting good. Escape room meets large family of adopted kids, all with probably have mental problems. I'm gonna. This is going to my journal, guys. It's going to my journal. It's pretty awesome.
They did give us at the end after we solved it. We did escape, so that's yay for us. We did escape. I guess some people don't escape, but we did. I don't know what they do with those people when they don't escape. Did they just? Maybe that's the other room. They just put the bodies in there or something. But we did escape. Oh, and when Houdini did appear, he did appear from one of his tricks, which was pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I guess if you don't escape, then that guy's got the night off.
Yeah, he's like, well, they didn't make it.
So I didn't make it. I'm just gonna keep smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. His name was, the person who played Houdini that night was James. I guess it's J. Cameron Cooper. He played Houdini, or was that the real Houdini?
Wait,
Could have been.
here's the deal, though. Is that 3 names on every person that's involved in this place?
No, the other guy's just Bradley Winkler.
Maybe it was Bradley Winkler.
Oh, for our purposes, Chris, it is. Because I was like, is this just like a list of like you know?
So I'm wondering if
serial killers.
Haley E.R. Cooper and J. Cameron Cooper, husband and wife, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm guessing.
Well, who's the third guy though?
He wasn't there.
Man, I feel like that's awesome. I'm glad they're doing something with their marriage. Like we watch Netflix. That's like they made an escape room.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Don't give him any
ideas. One thing we've accomplished, like we like moved a chair.
Yeah.
They built an escape room.
They made an immersive theater escape room where they.
I'm underachieving.
We need to make an escape room now.
I know. Don't give him any ideas. He'll turn our house into an escape room.
If any of our listeners are rich and wealthy and would like to give me money to make an escape room, please send your money to me. All of it. In bags.
In the widely attended city of Pearland, Texas. People drive from all over to go escape room.
I've actually, I've worked in youth ministry for a long time and have done many escape rooms or immersive games like this with kids, and that's always one of my favorite things. So take 100 kids and lock them in rooms and
lock them in a room,
make them escape.
Just throw in some Gatorade and Cheetos and.
But we did not to get off on something I did, but we did a prison one. I've done one where I was based on Slender Man before he went crazy. That was really cool. We had a guy dressed as Slender Man, and he was roaming the halls while they were trying to escape. And we did one based on the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, and
that was creepy.
That was cool. I had all these volunteers dressed as. If you're not familiar with the Weeping Angels, they're basically these statues that when you're looking at them, they look like statues, like angel statues.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you turn away, they start moving towards you to attack you and send you back into time.
You know what I always felt about those, though, is that those are such a ripoff from Super Mario Brothers.
That's true.
The ghosts?
True.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Yeah. Which came first, though? Because Doctor Who's pretty old.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't know when the Weeping Angels
first.
Or
is it like an homage? I mean, who's scratching who's back in this situation?
Well, they have a lot of old cemeteries in England with really creepy statues, so I'm sure that's where part of it came from. But it was fun when we did it because we had them dressed in full statue costumes, and we made it sort of like a giant, part of it a giant red light, green light, so when the students were looking at them, they wouldn't move, and as soon as they would turn away, they would start chasing after the kids, and which is funny.
Like running, or was it more like slow zombies?
Slow, like they would, because as long as you weren't looking at them, we had every kid wear these glow-in-the-dark glasses, so the statues could always tell where the kids' eyes were. As soon as the kids would look away, they would start moving towards them. And then when they got tagged, they had to go all the way back to the beginning of the immersive game thing. So yeah, that was fun. I like to scare children.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Why didn't you go back to church? Well, we did this weird role-playing demon thing.
And all the parents are like, I thought the parents would be like, no, we're not doing this. And they're like, can you just make sure that you scare my kid? Like, just scare them really bad. And I'm like, really?
100%. Okay. Yeah.
So, but I always tied it into something. It always tied into...
Well,
something.
I mean, it was usually a Halloween alternative, and it always, I mean, it got to be a big thing. Like, kids that didn't even come to our church.
Anyways, we're getting off on another subject. But, yes, so...
Well, real quick, though, man, high five for you for making a Halloween alternative that wasn't super lame.
Yeah.
That's true.
It was like, our Halloween alternative is everybody dressing as angels, dressed as your favorite saint. It's like, who has a favorite saint?
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, it was the...
It was Noah's Ark.
No. It was the Halloween alternative was the... what do they call them?
The
Judgment houses.
Yeah, Judgment. That's what it was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are creepy.
Those were terrifying.
Yeah.
I think that was an
That's
East
a whole...
Tennessee thing.
Again, that's a whole other thing right there.
Yeah, I did not do the Judgment
Heaven's
houses.
Gate sells flames.
Yeah. And I just remember them when they would like set up like a car accident.
Yeah.
Like the teenager was out for a midnight drive and crashed, and now they're gonna burn. And it was just like, oh my goodness, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think they still do those too.
They do.
I've seen some people on Facebook talking about it. Some of our friends, so I hope they're not listening. They're like, we got Judgment House this week. And I'm like, oh.
We got to start it with a different beginning now because no teenager can afford just extra gas to go out on a drive at night.
Yeah.
So
Teenagers
forget
don't
that.
want to drive.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Teenagers don't leave their house
Yeah.
because they're
freak,
all online.
Freak texting accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to what we did. Like to
So
get
nobody
off
will be
random.
surprised though if he turns our house into an immersive theater with this history.
Oh,
of
I've
his.
already got. You know, we've talked about this before. I'm a big Halloween guy. Some people will think I'm evil or whatever, but I grew up and that was one of the things that my dad and I did. We would decorate our house and just have fun with it. And so it sort of carried on. And so I've already got plans for this new house. And so Eric, you're going to have to stop by come October because I've got a projector that's going to be like ghosts in the windows and it's going to be fun.
Dude.
And our 4-week-old
Just gotta tell me what everything
traumatized.
is. Yeah. And tell me where all the jump parts are so that I don't pee myself in front of my kids.
Yeah.
They can't respect me anymore as a father.
But I have fun with it. So, but yeah, so Strange Bird.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Strange Bird, I give you mad props. You did a great job. I would love to do it again, but I already know what everything happens, so I don't want to be that jerk that goes to with a group and be like, hey guys, try this over here. Hey, let's do this. This is how this does. But that would be sort of fun, just to be the...
Or you could go and just totally be sandbagging the entire time, just really making people go the wrong direction. Like, no, that means that everyone's got to all do the river dance. And then you get your phone out. You're like, so...
Everybody stare at this picture on the wall. Just stare at the picture. There's something there.
We call it the Glen. Oh.
But at the end of the night, she, Madam Daphne, sort of drops her Madam character part and confesses that all her stuff was a hoax. But Houdini did come, so we sort of made him come, not her, something like that. But it was cool. It sort of had a happy ending. I'd do it again.
Like most seances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what they come up with next. If you need ideas, just give me a call, or I'll be a consultant for you. And then at the end of the night, they left us with a for our viewers they can see, gave us a thank you tarot card. And
your own little devil card taken to your home.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it has a secret. I don't want people to see it, but a secret website that you can go to. I don't know if you've been to that yet, Eric.
See, you're pretending that I didn't lose that before I made it home. So,
well, I knew we were doing
now
this.
I'm wondering what's going on.
I'll tell you what the website is later, and you can check it out. But basically, it's a think of it as the credits of a movie. It's got who does what, and then it has the story of Houdini, about what the puzzles represented for the stuff in his life. It gives you biographies and movies and TVs about Houdini that you can check out. Being a music guy, you appreciate this. I guess they had all the music that we heard throughout the night, specially recorded for the escape room, so they just didn't use free stuff because they have all the
canned material.
Yeah, so they have all the
Yeah, that's cool. See, I feel like
and stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I could just see that star from those like the More You Know things on NBC flying across as you're doing that.
Yeah.
The More You Know. Pretty awesome. Secret websites. I feel like that's another thing that's kind of gone by the wayside, like little Easter eggs in your website, and
Or like
they don't have a
CD.
website anymore. Yes.
Always
Like
had that
hidden
track at the
tracks.
end. Yeah.
Dude, that was so man.
Yeah.
That's why the '90s were awesome.
Yep.
Because you couldn't do that on cassette because ain't nobody got space.
Yeah.
And on a record, you're
It was on
like,
CD,
I can
yeah.
see it right there.
That's right.
On vinyl, it's like I can see the next notch. I
groove,
know that
yeah.
something's happening over there.
Yeah.
That's so screwed up.
Vinyls,
I
you would
built
just
a
play
website for our
backwards.
band one time. If you play this podcast back,
Oh yeah,
you
you
learned
get some-
all the secrets about that escape room.
Yeah.
Katrin, you should
Man,
put a secret
that's
page
crazy.
on our website.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I will. And it'll be one of those where you're sitting there reading something, like you got to be really close to reading it, and all of a sudden a face just jumps out at you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are the best. Those are those ones that I'm like, whenever my kids have been ultimately terrible, I'm like, oh guys, come watch this video, and I get all of them on the computer at the same time, and I'm like, now go to bed. Scared.
Sweet dreams.
It's kind of a backwards motion on that, but I feel better.
Yeah.
That I scared the mess out of them. So
Definitely. Oh, my son, he's 6, right? And he loves being scared. This morning we spent probably 30 minutes where he would walk down the hall and we would hide in different parts of our house and just jump out and scare the pants off of him. And he loves it. But the problem is he's paranoid to walk down any hall by himself.
oh my
But
gosh.
it's the funniest thing though, because he's so fun to scare because he just screams and jumps and it's the funnest thing in the world. But yeah, I feel bad though because like I said, he won't go up in. He hates being up in his room by himself, and he hates going down dark hallways. And but
Your electric bill's gonna double because he has to have the lights on all the time. Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
our kids-
children.
Like we do this thing called alien hide and seek, and like so we'll do this alien seek where I'm the alien. I go hide. They go into my closet, and then I go hide somewhere in the house. And then after they find me, whoever I can eat before they can get back to the safety pod, then. So you remember when Periscope was a thing that
Yeah.
app Periscope.
Yeah.
Well, so right when that had happened, I was periscoping, like I was hiding like in the hot water heater closet, which is super not safe, by the way. And like, so people are, and I have got like 180 people watching this live stream, and you can see through like the slatted door, the kids see the kids walking around. They're like, you people are like, oh, jump out, heart, you know, as it's going along. And so, I mean, that was my only highly rated broadcast ever, because then when I finally jump out, I mean, it was awesome. Some people are like, you're a terrible dad. I'm like, delete. You got blocked. like if you think I'm a terrible dad, then you're not a parent. So
That's
it
right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Scaring your kids is what it's about. It's one of your
Oh,
rights as a dad.
Embarrassing them and scaring them. That's what we're
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that go for?
I've only begun.
Is that the rule for our wives too? Because I tell you that he likes to pull pranks on me and scare me more than our kids.
I scare her all the time.
That just means we love you. That's
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
So.
It's not much of a
This
challenge
side of it.
anymore.
Maybe that's why nothing
Now you're
scares
getting-
me.
You're into a danger zone now. Like definitely way into this third trimester. You don't want to probably scare her too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I don't
You
want to
might,
scare her
like
now.
scare her plural.
He hasn't scared me since we moved into this house, but that means I'm really like in for it when it comes to October.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
'Cause he's still rigging things. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Oh,
one big game.
hiding walkie-talkies in the garage and setting up elaborate
Oh my
stories
gosh.
to scare me when I got home. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good.
I have fun. I have fun. I can't wait till October.
That's awesome.
And we're still married, so.
Yeah.
I have fun once you get to know me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I keep going back and forth with everything, but they even like the tarot card things that they did. They were designed especially for them, and they had someone do all the artwork. So that's pretty cool.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Learn something new every day. So Strange Bird. I guess we'll wrap this part up.
Man. Yeah, they really went all this.
What?
They
Try again.
We're just listening to you.
Yeah.
I'm listening. Am I supposed to be doing something?
We thought you said
No,
something.
you're good.
You're good.
No.
The internet.
It's the internet.
Yeah, this is the internet. Anyway,
The
so
internet.
to wrap up Strange Bird, check them out. See if I got a website. StrangeBirdImmersive.com. They're on Twitter, StrangeBird Immersive. If you need
Could
info,
write it on my chalkboard.
you can email them at info@strangebirdimmersive.com. But I will tell you this: make sure that you have at least 4 people going with you, because if it's just 2 of you going and nobody else signs up, then they cancel it. So you have to have at least 4 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if it's just 2 people, they cancel it, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Strange Bird Immersive.
Ingeberg.
We lucked out and we had a full house.
There
We had 8 people, so
Yeah, it was fun.
it was
That's
fun.
good.
I had a blast. Katrin, come down and do it, and we'll go back with you, and we'll spoil everything for you.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, I went to one. I'll tell a quick story. We went to one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one time. I was on a work trip, and it was me and this other guy. And he had done one before, and we're like, "Oh, we can do this." We're pretty smart. We're computer nerds, whatever. And we didn't finish it. We probably got a quarter of the way through, apparently, because the guy showed us everything at the end of it.
Holy.
And it was funny because we were looking for a key this whole time, and we had seen it earlier. And we're like, "Where did that key go?" And we got out, and we told the guy, we're like, "We lost the key. I'm sorry." And then my friend, my coworker, he put his hand in his pocket. He's like, "Oh man!" And he had the key in his pocket the whole time. We spent like a long time trying to find that key.
Oh
so
my!
we might have done okay if we'd found it. But then when the guy showed us everything, there was some crazy stuff. Like you had to use this laser pointer to shine on these little mirrors on the bottom of a box to show up on the ceiling and do all that. It's like, how in the world are you supposed to do that? I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's like MacGyver level stuff right there.
Yeah, some
it
of
was-
them are crazy.
I don't know. It was to help the presidents.
We
Yeah.
did another one here in Houston, and it was fun. It was like you're in a Texas museum, and the Texas Star was stolen, and you had to find all the pieces. And that was fun. There was a math problem that.
A word problem.
Yeah. But that's cool. But that one has another one that I want to hopefully do sometime. But you have to have like 8 people. It's based on the Apollo 13 mission. And so half the group is the people at mission control, and the other half are the astronauts. And you've got to figure out a way to save the astronauts and get them back. So that one looks pretty cool. I forget what that one's called. I was going to give them a shout out, but
Escape Houston?
Escape
Apollo.
Houston? I don't remember.
Oh, that's the name of the place, but I don't
It's
know
in my
the name
wallet.
of the.
I don't have my wallet. Oh well.
Yeah, it's in Midtown.
Anyway, so we hope to do more escape rooms. Let us know if you like the reviews of them. If you want us to go into more detail, we can try. I don't want to give too much away for the people. Strange Bird, if you're listening, thank you very much. We hope to experience more stuff that you do, and would love to collaborate on anything with you guys. You guys are great. And you guys got anything else you want to add? No?
I don't know, man.
It was fun.
Well, cool.
I wish I could have gone.
Yeah, we wish you were there. It'd
I
been a
know.
lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Next time.
We'll
Next time.
get you down
Yep,
here.
next-
We'll get you down here sometime. You got to come to Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to do besides escape rooms. But there are a lot of escape rooms. There's also one somewhere in Houston where you're
There's
trapped.
this new escape room in Pearland, Texas.
Yeah.
It's on this new street.
It's people's house.
Don't give our address. No.
I'm not gonna
Get out too.
There's
We have
one
a bunch there, too.
there's one somewhere where you're trapped in a room with a zombie, and there's an actual, well, not a real zombie, but
Yeah, there was
Nope.
one in Tulsa like that where you the
Nope.
chain the chain gets longer as you go along, so you have to solve it, and it like gets closer and closer to you. So it's like a distraction, I guess. But it's like they call it the zombie escape room, I guess. But yeah.
I think
we're
you
doing
just
that one,
scared
Eric.
He's gonna have nightmares now. He's like, he needs some melatonin.
No. Heck no. Like, not even a little bit.
yeah, Eric, we're going to
No.
the zombie one. We'll take you. I'm not
I
gonna.
saw a preview for Walking Dead and just like canceled my cable.
You're not a deadhead? Can
Not
we even be
doing
friends?
I'm like a Grateful Dead head. No.
Oh man.
It's not
There's
about
a zombie
the zombies.
apocalypse.
It's
I'm running
about-
toward them. Get it over with.
It's not about the zombies. It's about the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna find this escape room though with the zombies, and I'm
Right.
gonna like say, Eric, I need you to come do something with me, and I'm just gonna take you there and just like get you aside. This is what I do to my friends. Katrin hates roller
No.
coasters. He hates
That'd be
roller
the end of my
coasters.
friendship with you.
I tricked him to go on 2 roller coasters once, and told him that we were going on a train ride and a nice ride through space. And he ended up going on Space Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain, and he screamed like a little girl.
I was gonna say Space Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain. I was gonna get. Yes, I got it.
Which
Yeah,
I do like. But still
Yeah.
not Space. I've done Space Mountain at least one more time since then, and I still hate it. So I can't do that.
It's even creepier to do with the lights on because
Yeah.
you
Oh,
see
that's
all the stuff
scary.
coming at you, and it's just like
Yeah.
That sounds like zombie apocalypse. Like Space Mountain with lights on.
It is scary. You
crazy.
feel like you're gonna hit your head on the track above you. You're so close.
yeah.
You have no
Yeah,
idea.
and you realize
Dark.
all these years you've been like raising your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm safe. They've done the math. No, they haven't. Lose a finger. Career
Yep.
over.
Oh.
Oh man.
I guess short girls are okay, but
That was
you
back
know.
in the 70s, so they probably didn't really take in too much account for tall people and stuff. They're just like
No. Oh, they weren't thinking about
safety. No.
safety.
That was scary. That's scary.
That's why I never go to carnivals or state fairs because those rides,
Yeah.
those
Somebody
rides
just died.
scare me. Yeah,
Done one.
they fall apart.
It was really bad. Yeah.
I was at one.
Yeah, this one did. They checked everything. And,
Yeah. I was in middle school. I was looking out the window, and there was one that sat outside our middle school. Saw a guy putting together a tilt-a-whirl, and he picks up 2 parts, looks at him, shakes his head, and just throws them underneath. And I'm like, nope, never going on that.
Nope.
That's what scares me.
Yeah, really.
That's it.
The carnies scare me. Those crazy carnies. Anyways. Well, we're approaching an hour. Can you believe it's been an hour? And our internet isn't getting any better. So, unless you guys have something else, I think we're going to call it a night.
Nope.
Well,
There's no. Oh.
Hey, Preggers stayed awake.
Oh, there you
yes,
go.
Jennifer stayed awake, so that's good. But thank you to our special guest, Jennifer.
Yay,
My lovely-
Jennifer.
My lovely wife, she had to be here. And for Eric for taking time out of his busy, crazy household to be on here with us tonight. Katrin, thank you as usual. And we'll be back to our normal time next week. New one next Friday. But until then, this is I Am Geek. And we'll see you. Listen. No. You'll hear from us next time. Because some of you don't see us. So you'll hear from us next time. So have a good night, good afternoon, or good morning. And we'll talk to you real soon. Have a good night. See ya. Bye.